Okay, hello YouTube. I just want to state what I wanted to state in the last anime video is that when I set a foot in front of Uncle Tommy, best believe the most important part about all that is that he felt Jordan, okay? Literally, and that's big. When you're there working on all those cosplay models and shit, literally, the very first person he felt was Jordan, okay? Literally, that means it wasn't just a little foot. Literally, it was a foot that was monumental. It was a foot that led to killing him. And what you need to understand about that externally, guys, is that means that not only did I sacrifice, but I was on my shit, okay? Now, there's a lot of things I have to state in this video that, maybe are comfortable for you guys. But, you don't know how powerful that is versus you trying to be a one-tone society. It doesn't mean shit, okay? Now, this video is going to reference, a ton of things, all right? Because one thing, literally, even if I'm resting this video, that I have to state very clearly is that I had actual real influences back in the day, and that I have to, state that literally my high school wasn't the same, okay? Because what happened, what inevitably happened, guys, was I was hanging around, heavy skateboarders like Anthony Perry, Isaiah, this, that, monsters that literally can't give you unconditional love with these fucking lesbians. And the truth of the matter is, I figured out, let me backtrack a little bit because it's a little bit too early on in the video. It's the exact same reason why Lily in high school, a girl is just a girl. It's the exact reason why none of their advice actually works. You wanna know why? Because you dealt with public school and people are trying hard, on their subjects and their studies, okay? When women and people are focused on the world and they're focused fast with coordination, okay? Lately, so when I explained that Eris was a form of a retard, that in doing so, all right, that literally, no matter if you were a crooked soul, if you were a leg coming to you, someone would come in the way. Their advice only would work if nobody gorilla, okay? If people don't gorilla, literally, their advice works. But because people are like that, literally, it doesn't, all right? So do all the calculations you want, do all the miscalculations you want. Literally, people are people, and that's that. But that's why Eris is better, okay? Literally, because this video, best you believe, is actually inspiration, all right? Now, when it comes to designs by Zero, lately, my epic for graphic design, you see how they told me lately, when I got the hood to pay for content, I actually had to pay for a couple of designs, all right? So let's get to, Zero a little bit. So Zero, who is he? I talked about him lately 2021 on the channel. Literally, that he was the guy, literally, that was my main example of graphic design, because he made all the black designs for anime characters that I would have to pay for, right? And one of them was Fan Made 2018, where I ordered the Justin Law pick, okay? Now, in doing so, what Zero did was he informed me, literally, about the full BET where it came to everything. Literally, when I tried to catch him off guard, literally, when he made a joke, literally, when he made a fool out of me, all the way to a point where I ended up buying his designs, okay? Because what he would do was he would be in a hierarchy, literally, of everything where it came to Full Metal Alchemist, all right? So, who he was is he was heavily respected by the anime community, all right? Now, one more thing I have to add before we make Fortress, literally, is that when he died because he knew how society was going to turn out. He said, I'm going to sacrifice myself in the pod right now, all right? Because what ended up happening, right, was I ended up getting a graphic design as I further progressed in my channel and actually paid for some of his designs on my Instagram nowadays, all right? Now, what ends up happening is I knew that he wasn't big on girls and soul size, but I knew he was big on graphic design. He gave me a hint sometimes that, you're doing the best thing. And the error within graphic design is where you want to make a black character, where you look at a character, not all of the characters work, all right? That's why graphic design, sometimes you have to, get out and draw the character. You can't always do the same shit, and that's the flaw, of the anime community, okay? And so, what ended up happening was, he ended up, showing multiple examples that he was above, anime hip-hop by making, an Edward gift, a Full Metal Alchemist gift, literally, where there's, Meek Mill, literally, and, Kendrick Lamar, all right? So he had literally, he let me know he had a style strategy of Meek Mill and Kendrick Lamar, and, Kendrick Lamar, to a point where I knew that he was on shit, and then I tested him, literally, he did this, okay? So, literally, Zero was my man, okay? Now, when it came down to actual critique, we're starting to get the furry characters. I already showed you the video that, he didn't want to make character designs for me anymore, even though I had the money, and that's a flaw from the government, okay? That's a big flaw from the government, all right? Now, Literally, here's one truth about 2021. Literally, was it the one-tone society that just for, autism, it doesn't let, nerds know that they have sex? So, no, 2021 was everything, especially, literally, with my Oreo. The introduction to Oreo was me posted as a great Saiyan man. Literally, that one episode where Gohan was bouncing the ball, alright? Alright? Literally, it's true. And Daddy said it right there and there. Literally, he fucked the girl with C standard, alright? Now, when it came to that actual critique, it was a versus battle. Literally, it was DBZ episode of Gohan, bouncing the ball versus a regular Full Metal Alchemist episode. But I actually did the track and field. Literally, so nothing is one tone about society about somebody bouncing a fucking ball in the stadium. Literally, using a baseball court. Literally, or field or wherever, training field, Naruto, literally in and out, all the way to a point, literally, where he's referencing your Uncle Tommy at his finest, alright? So, there was no one-tone society. But guess what, literally, I got Mirage that literally, that society can no longer be used to forward autism, alright? Now, what that society is going to become is that society is eventually going to have special ed teachers confess to special ed kids that they have, sexual, okay? They're no longer going to keep it secret, alright? Now, you may think this video is dragged on, but there's more than you think. So, what I'm going to get at is the exact same reason why girls are able-bodied. This, that is the exact reason why, their advice doesn't work. And the pinnacle of this video is that, literally, I'm telling you how Eris truly was. And out, not the straight up blingies, but there was mood tunes and the A&Bs and how he edited his videos and why he still had a pure soul, He's like, he didn't mean, to throw a knife at his mother. He didn't mean to do this, and that. Literally, and so, literally, when I come down to earth, I'm like, Eris, literally, you're fucking down to earth. Literally, you're hanging around with big influences like Zags and fucking skateboarders and shit. Literally, nobody told you, nobody eclipsed your mind. Literally, to a point, literally, where you threw a knife in your mother, where you didn't recognize that it was your mother. Because something literally happened in your subconscious to make you forget so, okay? Now, that was the prime pinnacle of this video, okay? It's the fact that literally I figured out that people ain't shit. Literally what happened did happen. Literally I got a scar on my arm. Literally it is compared to a scar on your head, unfortunately, immaturely. Which is why there isn't a difference. And which is the whole theme of me versus my mom is a black man that's willing to go over a scar and say something versus me having an Asperger's still using logic, okay? Now, let's get down to where Chris's advice, literally, that stuns me to this day, that speaks for your street smarts, okay? And that was when I was able to sing Fanmade at, when I was able to sing Shining Ray, One Piece at Fanmade 2018. Alright, so there's some morph going on. It's sitting on my shoulder, literally, with a whole bunch, retards, literally, and people that literally don't matter. But that's your gangster, okay? You need to stop using your gangster for evaluations, okay? That's why you don't understand a girl's just a girl. That's why you say, oh, she should have gave you the coochie, literally. That's why I'm capping back in public school, okay? Now, in doing so, alright, Shining Ray literally was a song that I've been singing ever since I was in 8th grade. That was on my CD player back when CD players were still allowed, right? And the next video today of the show is gonna go to me and Boy Scouts out. Chris is telling me that I was a big nerd, okay? Now, this right here is the pinnacle. Because when Chris says that you can't go back in time, literally you can't change the past, nothing made me feel more true. Literally that time, literally when I could sang, literally Shining Gray perfectly on top of grabbing all those bitches at Fanmade. Literally when they changed it to, Snow Fairies. Double apologize to the government all you want. Oh, they're gonna work that shit. They're gonna change it. You would got kicked out of the car. This, and that. Nothing made me feel more true. Literally when I could sang Shining Gray, while I do every single word and every single lyric versus your fucking gay member understanding, alright? It's stupid. That's just one of them. It's stupid. Literally. And they're still mean to do this shit to his fucking butter, literally. And you guys are dragging all the shit, literally, to a point where it doesn't matter, okay? And, that's just one of them, okay? That's like the scars are being taken away, alright? It's true. It's completely fucking true, alright? Now, before I get ahead of myself, that's the probably, pinnacle of this video. I hope you guys, enjoyed, those big pinpoints. And one more secret factor that had to do, literally, with all the shows I moved on the rock, including Droners, is that, literally, my Elixir, the theme song I made for Nons, literally, is what created the character Mina on TV, okay? If you didn't know that, alright? So, it's stupid. I was gonna say it, for a text video, but since, people are on my jock, literally, there you go, fuckers, okay? Why does that matter? Because you're retarded.